I got it. So back in all the way in 2020, I have always wanted to do a personal project of mine. It just personal. It's a very personal project of mine. A lot of the elements in this project that I did back in 2020 was not mine creatively, but in some aspects, some things were changed in some characters. I'll get to that in a little bit, but this is really something I always wanted to do back when my friend Abel, shout out to him, introduced me to Gacha and this series that he used to do, which he canceled that. Oh well, sucks to be him. Then I thought, oh, might as well make a side series on his thing, on what he was doing. But then he canceled that. But I kind of grew on what I was doing previously, and I always wanted to make this into reality, not a creatively original project of mine, but just more something in the terms of this is going to be something that is more personal to me as a person because there is some things that I want to say on camera as a human here on TikTok and everywhere else on the internet, but I can't really because it's either a bit controversial, I'm probably just saying things out of my ass, or a lot of people just don't want to agree with it just because they have their own opinions, which is fine in its own. But there is things that I have questions. I have questioned over the course of my life for the 18 years that I've been living, and all the things that I've been through as a person. Not, it's nothing too dramatic, but it's nothing too traumatic in the case of what I want to incorporate in the story. But this is things that did happen to me, and a lot of things that I do want to take into consideration of not just me but everyone else, like the current situation of the higher ups kind of screwing us over as common folks. That has been upsetting me, but I just choose to watch the cataclysm while that's happening. And if some of y'all have not noticed, which I know, as a kid, I wanted to do a plushie series, as any kid would, because I grew up watching YouTubers that use plushies as entertainment. And, of course, I had this little fucker just... ouch. And, of course, Bendy as like, my two leading roles in this series that I wanted to do, but I don't know, I had so many ideas, I could never stick with it. I could never stick with it. And then I finally found it with Gacha Life. But then some things happened to me in my past that kind of affected me deep down personally. Because the one thing I will say is that if you're in a new environment and you're going through puberty and you're autistic as well, I would say that is not really like a good combination, considering that if you just want to be the way that you are, but people, they kind of just see you as something else, and the things that you like and the things that you find yourself to be entertained, and if they see that as weird, they're gonna go after you. And that happened to me, and let's just say that I'm not saying that I fully recovered from it. I'm not saying that it is the most traumatic thing to ever happen to me. It happens to some people, but again, I'm an autistic man, so this affects me in a different way, so honestly. And I wanted to express how I felt through a short time of me kind of just questioning myself and questioning the things that I've gone through and things that I've seen and heard. And I wanted to incorporate myself in there, but I didn't want to put me in it. I didn't want to put myself in the series. I wanted to make a character of myself, of what I wanted to be, but then grew to fear to being to not what I want it to be. So that's mainly why I made my internet Sona. Just kind of to kind of just give you the idea of someone that I wanted to be. A very outgoing man and a very good-hearted man, but deep down, if something happens, there will always be a shadow in you that will try to take control of it, and it will eventually turn you into something that you never wanted to be. But then you will soon grow to realize that this happened, and you gotta embrace the shadowy figure in your soul, and know that it is now a part of you. It's a part of your past, and it is something that will stick for you for the rest of your life, and it can even be your source of power. And that's why I made that Sona of myself, to kind of represent someone who I wanted to be, but feared of being something else, and eventually becoming that monster that taking your soul. But then you grow to realize that it's stuck with you now, and now it is now a power for you to take control and even use it to your own advantage. And yes, even though this project of mine is really more of a personal thing, this will be a fictional story, so a lot of things will be fictional, and it will be very anime based as well. It is going to be anime, very heavily shonen anime based, as far as I can tell. So of course, a lot of the things is just going to be a fictional version of me going through some things that real me has done or been through and also feared. But know that this is not truly me, and this is the things that is going to happen to that fictional version, that I will never experience as a person, because honestly, come on. Why wouldn't you want to put yourself in a fictional story? As for Sonic and Bendy, yes, they're already existing characters of existing medias, so that's why I wanted to change some things about the characters. Even though they will inherit their traits from, of course, their existing source, but I wanted to make them more of their own character than just being a replica and an alternate universe version of them, which technically, yes, they are. They are alternate universes of themselves, but I want them to be their own characters. Something more original in personality than character-wise. Character writing, all on my own. But the characters themselves, they're already existing IPs. So that's another thing I also feared, is kind of getting the suits on my ass if I do use these characters. So that's why I hope that if these original personalities and original writings for these characters work and the suits stay off my ass, I'll get down on my knees and pray to God and be like, yes, thank you for not letting the suits be on my ass. So what I have in mind to incorporate all of my personal questions and experiences, and of course my own things, is to put it in this series, in this project called, nah, I'm not gonna tell you yet, but just know that in this project there will be a lot of things that I have, because again, this is a very personal project of mine, so a lot of things is just kind of dumping in on what I have in mind in this series. I don't care if you guys will like it or not like it, or hate me, or probably slit my throat on all the things I want to talk about in the series. I'm not expecting much to have a fan base or community grown by this series, because it is a personal thing of mine. But just know that I'll enjoy every minute of my life of making the series. So I'll update you more on my characters liberating their own metas.